Runaway slaves, burn down barn, and steal horses. Breaking news! On this November 13th, 1794, President Washington leads 13,000 militiamen to crush the Whiskey Boys in the Whiskey Rebellion. The troops are marching from Washington's headquarters in Bedford, Pennsylvania, to western Philadelphia to stop the rebellion. These Whiskey Boys are mostly farmers and have been declared a self-created society by Mr. George Washington himself. This rebellion is affecting the western frontier the most, especially Pennsylvania. No state south of New York hasn't felt the effect. And here's Billy Bob with the story.
Thanks, Wilbur. Previously, in 1791, Congress approved a bill proposed by Alexander Hamilton that put an excise tax on all distilled whiskey. The principal reason behind this tax was to help pay off the national debt the federal government had taken on from the states. The tax would also help to advance and secure the power of the federal government. This was a direct tax on Americans and many grain farmers, and was not received well by producers of the alcohol. The large producers did not mind this tax so much. Among these are George Washington himself and Garth Strobel. Here's Garth's thoughts on why.
So, Garth, what do you think of this new tax?
I don't mind this new tax. I've got a competitive advantage over those small little hicks because of it. I can charge my customers for the tax, and I still make money. The tax for me is only 6 cents a gallon. Because I make whiskey in large amounts. The other suckers have to pay 9 cents a gallon because they're selling it in sizable amounts.
However, the small producers strongly opposed this new tax because it was a tax on their main crop. And now here's Orville Redenbacher with his opinion. What do you think about this situation?
I hate this new tax. I think it is so full of crap.
How full of crap is it, Orville?
It is so full of crap them Federalists ain't letting me ship my whiskey for cheap like I used to. It's cheaper for me to just sell my grain instead of distilling it.
You tell 'em, Orville. That's the American spirit.
Yeah! Liberty and no excess! Liberty and no excess! Liberty and no excess! Woo!
Most people simply refused to pay this tax, while others rebelled violently. There were also many people that held meetings and protests, making it similar to the opposition of the hated Stamp Act of 1765. Tom the Tinker is the leader of the Whiskey Rebellion, and groups of protesters have formed and are calling themselves Tom the Tinker's Men. Roscoe Ray has more about the violent protesters.
The Whiskey Boys and other rebels committing these heinous crimes such as tarring, feathering, and stealing the property of their victims threaten anyone who pays a tax. Often these threats are enough to dissuade any compliant citizens or tax collectors. One tax collector did not heed these warnings. His name was John Neville. I'm here in Washington County, where an angry mob has gone on a crazy rampage and has trespassed on Neville's property. The mob engaged in a shootout with Neville and Slick and are presently turning to south. Back to you, Wilbur Swain.
Wait, get you.
We don't know for certain, but here at CNN we are predicting that politically, the government will become stronger after this test of authority, and the commitment of our government to the Constitution will be enforced for the first time. It's also likely that the rebellion will change the political views of many from the Federalist Party to the Democratic Republican Party. Socially, this power of government will lead to a strong respect from the American people. Economically, this tax, although opposed, may stimulate our economy and help pay off national debts. But what we do know is that only 3 rebels were killed during the Whiskey Rebellion. Also, 150 rebels were arrested. This is Wilbur Swain, signing off for the Colonial News Network. Thank you, and good night.
I don't know what I'm doing! Sorry. It's your fault! Oh, what now?
Breaking news! Allie!